There we go, something like that. Cliffs of Dover, everyone. Eric Johnson, what can you say? My God. He blew all our minds back in the 80s, early 90s. But anyway, I just, obviously that's a really butchered rendition there. You played it too fast, played it too aggressive. I know. Hey, come on, give me a break here. The one thing I quickly want to show you from this is actually not the finger picking thing. It's not his cascading pentatonics and the economy picking thing, all that, you know. It's more the fact that when I learned it, or I tried to learn it, I just, obviously I've learned it incorrectly, according to today's standards. But you got to remember, back in the day when us, very old millennials were learning this kind of stuff in the 90s, you'd have to figure it out by ear pretty much. The thing that I took from this was obviously trying my best to figure out what he's doing. Didn't have the visual, so I just had to come up with what I thought was the closest approximation. The thing from this, there's two main things. First is this group of 5 that he does. This right here. Oh, I love that. Obviously very difficult to play because I was playing it sort of like strictly alternate picking. So every time you play the group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're gonna, the next time round it'll be a different combination. Obviously you'll start on an up. But I didn't know any better. I just kept on using my ear and trying to play it and just thinking, how is he doing that? But anyway, the whole point there is it's odd groupings, and when you use it in improvisation, rather than, at the time, I guess I was probably playing a lot of like Paul Gilbert style, 6s and 3s and groups just real fast. You can get away with murder with that, whereas when you're trying to play a bit more sporadically improvisational stuff, it doesn't always fit. The pentatonic stuff is a lot more melodic, obviously, because of you've got larger intervals. The whole thing there, though, is trying to apply 5s. I used to sit there and think, how else can I do that? And I inadvertently came up with very similar passages than when finally Sean Lane put a video out. We'd see him doing these really odd groups. Instead of just standard pentatonics, he'd actually do groups of 5. Oh, I can't even play it. And that, obviously, very difficult, jumping up and down, crossing strings all over the place. But what a cool sound you get. And then I used to just practice, well, maybe linking 2 shapes together. But that right there, what a sound. I love it. Isn't that cool? The other thing I have to show you, changed my world, was actually a mistake on my part. I was listening to the track before Cliffs of Dover, my record player back then. I have to get the needle and go back. It was Ave Musicom. There's a part in it where you hear this like feedback and this, and then you get this. I remember hearing that and just being like, oh my god, and I could tell, because I was reasonably, versed theoretically and also knew all my scales. I knew it was a pentatonic scale, but I was just like, God, he's flying up that. And unfortunately, because I was so excited, I didn't listen very carefully to the point that you can hear it's actually in reverse. And it makes more sense if you think about it, because a lot of his playing, he does those cascade. He does ascend a lot, obviously, but those that we're familiar with, those lines, he's more likely. Well, he was definitely going, and then flip the tape back, and you get it coming up, and that's where you can hear that weird sound. Oh, someone's going to clip that and make that a Hannibal Lecter thing, aren't they? But that got me into this 2-note per string. Like I said, all of us back in there. I'll tell you all about it eventually. You know, I'll do all kinds of stuff. I just don't want people getting too bored, me rambling on. But again, there's degrees, isn't there? When you're a guitarist and you're learning technique and stuff, you start developing a bit of speed and technicality, accuracy. But you go through phases, you know, and I think the easiest thing to get a grip on at first is 3-note per string repetitions. And it was so funny when you'd get groups of us together sharing ideas. And it'd be great because you'd get some guys who were like, oh, like 3-note per string so fast. But then I still remember my buddy Aaron saying to someone, can you just go up a pentatonic scale? And guys would be like, yeah. Up a pentatonic, because it's a totally different technique, isn't it? The 2-note per string thing. This is where it started my obsession. Obviously, the Eric Johnson. But that brought me on to, everyone knows, you can tell from just listening to me, who did it bring me on to? There's Zach Wild there, isn't it? You need a wah pedal as well, though. Give it that. Anyway, I'll get on to that. So there's those two things. Sorry, I am rambling on, but it's exciting, isn't it? What a laugh to play this stuff. Really does get me going. I know I'm too aggressive, I play it too fast, but you know, I'll calm down. Give me a couple of months, I'll be all right. But anyway, so there we go, group of 5. And the ascending 6. And obviously that's where you work on those things, get all these combinations, but that ascending thing, again, we get used to it, don't we? You'll get guitarists who are very technical, but then they'll actually be hiding limits, you know, where you've got, but they won't go. And that was me. I used to have all kinds of problems and holes in my playing, but then I'd just get obsessed and just work on the weak points and play all of the different variations, because I used to love it. I used to just think there's nothing better than sitting there and practicing these things. It was just such a laugh. And I'm trying to get it back, though. Anyway, there we go. All hail Eric Johnson. And I've butchered his song. He'll never see it, but imagine if he does, he's like, man, I really wish these cats would stop butchering my song. That'd be real. Anyway, so yeah, I've destroyed it. But for that, I do not apologise. Thank you very much for watching, and stand by for next video. I've got oceans of stuff to do. I'll get there. Give me time. Anyway, thank you very much, and see you soon.